Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to my thoughts on the New South Wales State of Origin squad for the 2020 Origin series, which is not that far away. Looking forward to it. I hope New South Wales can make it a three-peat and win the series once again this year. But this video is going to be about my opinion on the squad, the team that I would select 1 through to 17. If I was the head coach of New South Wales. And I've also put apart together 4 players in the New South Wales Origin squad that shouldn't be there. And I've come up with 4 players that should be there. So, hope you guys doing well on this Tuesday night. It's currently 8 p.m. October 27th, 2020. So, hope you guys are all doing well. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. We are almost at 850 subscribers, so the channel is going very well, so it'd be very nice if you could subscribe. Now, let's get into the video. So let's go through the 27-man Origin squad if you haven't seen it already, and then I'll give you my honest opinion on it, and we'll go from there. So this is the New South Wales Origin Blues squad. So we've got Payne Haas, Tyson Frizzell, Zach Lomax and Cameron McGuinness, Nathan Brown, Campbell Gillard, Clint Gufferson, Junior Paulo and Daniel Saifidi, Damien Cook, Cam Murray, Cody Walker, Nick Kotrick, Jack Whiten, Boyd Cordner, Angus Crichton, Luke Keary, James Tedesco, and to finish off, we've got Daniel Tupou, Jake Trbojevic, Nathan Cleary, Stephen Crichton, Jerome Law, Isaiah Yeo, Josh Adokar, Dale Finucane, and Ryan Pappenhausen. Now, my honest thoughts on that squad, I think it's a magnificent squad. I think Brad Fittler and Greg Alexander, Craig Fitzgibbon, I think they've all done a fantastic job and coming up with a very strong New South Wales Origin Blues squad. I think it's a very healthy squad. There's not many injuries except for James Tedesco, which could be a concern for Game 1 if he plays. I think they've done a great job with the squad. Now, there are a couple of players that I would not have selected, and there are a couple of players that I think should have been selected, and let's get to that part in a second. But if I was giving a rating out of 10 on that 27-man squad, with 10 being the best, then I'd give that Origin squad a solid 8.5 out of 10. You're never going to have a perfect squad in anything these days, but I think an 8.5 out of 10 is a good rating for that squad. I think it's a fantastic 27-man squad they have named right there, and I think the 17 players they get selected to play Game 1 and the 3 players that are on hold in case of injury will all do a great job. And, you know, it's going to be a good experience for some of the younger players there who haven't played Origin, who may not get a chance to play, so it'll be a good experience for them as well. Now, let's get to the part of the video that the players that shouldn't be in the squad, in my opinion, and the players that I would have replaced them with. So, we'll start off with the first one, and the first one is from the Parramatta Eels, Nathan Brown. Now, I think this bloke is a fantastic player and has had a good season, but me personally, I wouldn't have selected Nathan Brown. I would have went with David Klemmer instead. Now, I'm not having a knock on Nathan Brown as a player. I think he's a phenomenal athlete and a fantastic Parramatta Eels player. But if you're picking Nathan Brown over David Klemmer, then I think there's going to be something going on there. Now, David Klemmer hasn't had the best season at the Newcastle Knights. There's no doubt about that. But he's played very well. He's tried hard. Now, I think experience is definitely needed in these sort of big games. I remember last year, in Game 2, they dropped David Klemmer, and I think he got back in because Tarek Sims got suspended for a late shot on Michael Morgan in a game last year or something. Now, I think David Klemmer should be in the squad. He brings a lot of experience. He's always in the Australian side. He's a phenomenal front rower, and I don't know if Nathan Brown is ready for Origin yet for New South Wales. I don't know if he'll play, but me personally, I would have went with David Klemmer. The second one that I would have not selected is Daniel Tupou from the Sydney Roosters. I wouldn't have picked Daniel Tupou. I would have had David Nofaluma over Daniel Tupou. Now, Um, Daniel Tupou did have a good year at the Roosters on the left wing. There's no doubt about it. Didn't have the best end of season, but to be honest, the Roosters didn't have the best end of season either. But, I mean, if you're going to pick Daniel Tupou, then where's David Nofaluma? David Nofaluma was winger of the year, along with Josh Adokar. Nofaluma pretty much carried the West Tigers backline on his back from the entire season. So I think David Nofaluma's been hard done by here, and I would have had him over Tupou. Tupou, I thought he had his allegiance with Tonga or something. I think that there's a lot of question marks on a lot of these players if they are even from New South Wales. So I think they need to have a good look at that system, how that works. But I don't know about that Daniel Tupou. He's a good player, but I would have had Nofaluma over Tupou, me personally. And the other one is that I wouldn't have selected, which is a bit of a controversial one, is Stephen Crichton. I wouldn't have picked Stephen Crichton. I don't know if he's ready, a bit like Nathan Brown. He's very young still, Stephen Crichton. I don't believe he'll play at all, but, I mean, if you're going to have Stephen Crichton in the Origin camp, then where the hell is Alex Johnson from the South Sydney Rabbitohs? Alex Johnson has scored so many tries this year for South Sydney, the leading top try scorer this year. He is a fantastic Indigenous player. He can score a try from anywhere. He is just a fantastic player, and I don't understand why he's not there. And Stephen Crichton has had a good year at Penrith. He's a rookie. I know he got Centre of the Year, but Alex Johnson's been underrated for so many years, and I just think, I don't know, man, I shake my head about that decision. I think Alex Johnson should be there over Stephen Crichton, but that's just my opinion. And the last one is another controversial one, is a player that I would not have in the squad because I think New South Wales already have so many halves. It is Jerome Law. Now, this bloke has been terrific this year for Penrith. He's complemented Nathan Cleary very well in the halves. Now, the thing with Jerome Law is New South Wales already have so many halves in the squad. They've got Walker, Whiten, Keary, Cleary. Hell, you could even have Gutherson in this halves if you wanted to. There's so many New South Wales halves that are already there. I just don't see the need to have Jerome Luai in the squad. I don't think it's needed. If you don't need to have so many halves in the squad. I think it's a bit ridiculous. I wouldn't have had Jerome Luai. I would have went with another forward because I think forwards are very important in this sort of game, and I think New South Wales are a bit short on props, but this bloke's a bit of a back rower, bit of a lock. I would have had Mitch Barnett from the Newcastle Knights. Now, this bloke has been underrated for a very long time. He started his career at lock, and then he moved to back row for a while. Now he's moved back to lock, and he's an absolute nightmare of a player. Mitch Barnett, I would have over Luai. I don't think New South Wales need halves. They've already got about 1,000. So I would have had Mitch Barnett because I don't think New South Wales need any more halves. So they're the four players that I would kick out, and the four players that I would add. I would kick out Nathan Brown, Daniel Tupou, Jerome Law, and Stephen Crichton. And I would add Alex Johnson, David Nofaluma, David Clemmer, and Mitchell Barnett. Now, I don't have a problem with those four players in the squad, like I just said. But I wouldn't have picked them. I would have had those other four because I think those other four would have been better in the team. Now, I've written down my New South Wales Origin team from the 27-man squad. Now, this is the team that I would select for Game 1 if I was the head coach of the Blues. Very, very hard team to select because there's so many great players. So, let's go through the team. So, at fullback, I would go with James Tedesco if he's fit. If not, I'd have Ryan Papenhuyzen. On the wings, Nick Kotrick and Josh Adokar. In the centres, Zach Lomax and Jack Whiten. In the halves, Luke Keary and Nathan Cleary. The front row of Junior Paulo and Jake Trebojevic. The hooker is Damien Cook. The second row is Boyd Cordner and Cameron Murray. The lock is Isaiah Yeo. And on the interchange bench, I would go with Cody Walker, Payne Haas, Dale Finucane, and Angus Crichton. Now, a couple of reasons. Obviously, I'd go with Tedesco at fullback if he's fit. If not, it's a horse race between Papenhuyzen and Gutherson. I think Papenhuyzen would suit the team a bit better than Gutherson, but that's just my personal opinion. So, Tedesco at fullback if he's fit is a no-brainer. Wingers, Kotrick and Adokar. Adokar on the left, Kotrick on the right. I mean, how good is that combination going to be? You got two great wingers there. I think that's a no-brainer. Centres, Lomax and Jack White. Now, I think Zach Lomax deserves to play right centre for New South Wales. I think you need a genuine centre in the New South Wales team, and I think obviously Jack White would play on the other side probably. So I think Lomax deserves to make his debut for New South Wales on that right side. I think he'll do a great job if he gets selected. I would have him anyway. And the other centre is, the left centre is Jack White. Now, you could argue him at 5'8", but I think for the team and for combinations, I think to fit everyone in, Jack White suits left centre a lot better. So I'd have Jack White on the left and Zach Lomax on the right. Halves, Luke Keary and Nathan Cleary. Luke Keary, I think he deserves to have first crack at the New South Wales 5'8" jersey. I think he's been unlucky with injury over the years, so I think Luke Keary should be the New South Wales 5'8". The halfback, Nathan Cleary, no-brainer. I think he'll be the halfback. He's been the best halfback all year, so I think he'll be wearing the number 7. The front row with Junior Paulo and Jake Trbojevic. Now, I think Junior Paulo deserves a crack at front row. He's had a phenomenal season. A little bit unlucky not to win front row of the year, but I think he deserves first crack at the front row. And I'd have Jake Trbojevic at front row because I think he adds a lot of ball playing around the middle, and I think he'll be an absolute handful, and I think he'll probably move to lock when Payne Haas and Finucane come on. They'll come on and play front row, and Trbojevic might go back to lock. But I think Jake Trbojevic suits the front row with Junior Paulo. Damien Cook at hooker is it's a no-brainer. Now, the back row, the captain, Boyd Cordner, he picks himself. That's a no-brainer. Now, I've gone with Cameron Murray to play back row because I think he was playing outstanding at second row at the back end of the season, and I think Cam Murray deserves to start, and I think he will start because I think you need that excitement. So I'd have Cam Murray playing on the right side with Nathan Cleary. I think they could build a very good combination. I wouldn't have Tyson Frizzell there because I don't think Tyson Frizzell has had a great year at all, and I don't think he deserves to be picked in the sides, but he'll be in the squad. But I don't think Tyson Frizzell deserves to be there. So I'd have Cam Murray on the right side. Lock, Isaiah Yeo, I think he deserves to make his debut. He's been the best lock all year, and he would be outstanding at lock for New South Wales. Now, the bench. As the utility of the jersey 14, I think Cody Walker, I think he suits this position better than anyone. I think he would be the perfect utility. He'll come on the field. He'll step around the middle. He'll absolutely cause havoc for the tired Queensland forwards. And I think Cody Walker as that jersey 14 is an absolute no-brainer. I wouldn't have a problem if he was starting 5'8" either. So I just think for the team-wise, Cody Walker would be better as that jersey 14. The bench, Payne Haas, I think if you start him, I don't have a problem. But Payne Haas, he'll definitely be in the team. He is an absolute fantastic front rower. One of the best front rowers in the game when he's fit. So Payne Haas is a no-brainer. The other forward is Dale Finucane. He'll play prop for New South Wales or come off the bench. He'll be amazing for the Blues. He always does a great job. Very consistent. Very underrated. You know what you'll get from Dale Finucane. And the last one is Angus Crichton. I think he'll come on and play a bit of back row, maybe a bit of lock. I think he'll come on for Cam Murray when he gets a little bit tired. So I think Crichton will come on and do a great job. He had a really good year at the Roosters, in my opinion. So that's the team that I would select if I was the head coach. Overall, my thoughts on New South Wales, I think they've done a fantastic job here. I think the squad they've picked is sensational. I think the players that should be there is pretty much it's a debate part for everyone in the comment section below. And my New South Wales Origin team, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I think I've done very well with this 1 to 17 that I've selected. I think if they went with that team, it would be very great. But who knows what Brad Fittler, Greg Alexander, and Craig Fitzgibbon will all come up with. And I think whatever side they pick will be the right one. I'm not going to judge them, but I think they'll do a great job. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. My thoughts on the New South Wales Origin squad for the 2020 Origin 27, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the Origin squad. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're getting very close to 850 subscribers. Anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. The corner post will probably be on Thursday or Friday. Tomorrow I'll be doing my thoughts on the Queensland side as well, so stay tuned for that tomorrow night. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Have a great Tuesday night, and I'll see you guys in the next one.